Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meticulous Talks for May 16th. I'm, as always, Chris Accords.
I'm Hifrock, and today with us.
Hi, I'm Bugle.
Hi, but it says pages on the slide.
I love Poppy.
Okay, I'm convinced.
May as well be the same thing, right? No, Bugle was a very spur of the moment, just kind of phoned us up at the last minute and said, hey, I want to be on your stream. And who could say no?
You could have.
Could have, yes. Didn't want to.
Fair.
Oh, yeah. They'll be here, well, talk about the OnlineCon results, which will be the first topic on our agenda. And then we'll cover that relatively quickly, and then to the relatively large item which popped up this week, which are the 5 cards that are getting banned. 3 of them in core. Well, yeah, 3 of them in core, 2 of them in harmony, and all of the changes that will result from that. Because this is a little different. This isn't like just one deck getting banned. This is almost banning the whole meta in both formats, really.
I'm pretty sure this is the biggest ban list we've ever had as well. I mean, new cards added, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 at once. Yeah. Never before.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, OnlineCon results. The results of the tournament, which I guess I can just say happened last Sunday. 12 people participated, including myself, Hifrock, and Bugle. We were all there.
Yeah.
Hifrock and I were, sorry, Bugle and I were both playing yellow. Slightly different styles of it. Hifrock had his own new combo deck, which, I mean, I suppose I ought to give you a moment just to say whatever you want to say about it, Hifrock.
It's a combo deck in core. That's all I have to say.
Well, it's an infinite combo deck in core.
Yes. I guess we also have the dilemma one.
Mm-hmm.
And Soleno and Mistbane.
Yeah, but those are boring. They're not true combo decks. Yes, I will be gatekeeping combo decks.
Doesn't that mean Pile's also not a true combo deck?
No.
Guess so.
Wow.
It's an aggro deck with disguise. That's all of the rest of the combo decks you list.
Don't let Grandpa's hear this stream. No, don't let Cheese hear this stream.
Well, his GP usually shows up. Not sure if he's here yet now. Alright, not at the moment yet. Anyway.
Do you want to explain how the combo works real quick? Or?
Well, I can throw the list up here and maybe give people a moment to work it out. There are a few cards that are kind of, this card doesn't belong here.
That's how combo decks are supposed to look, yes.
Yeah, it's even worse than combo decks don't have that. Like, all of the cards make sense for the deck, but then bam, it's a combo deck. I don't know of any deck like that, but it would be nice to have something like this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this deck doesn't, like, during the game, it plays like a pink-orange deck, but it doesn't use any of the pink-orange in the combo itself, but it's kind of a required part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, for this combo deck, you need an empty deck, which is a hard requirement. Or near empty combo deck, you can go off while you have like 1 or 2 cards. It's just a little bit riskier. So when you have an empty deck, it works pretty simple. You just play Same Name Delivery. You have 2 triggers. You have Starlight and Same Name Delivery. You reveal same-time delivery, gain 1 AT, then look at the top card of your deck with Starlight, put it back on top because it's same-time delivery, reveal it again, get the second AT. And then you do that again with the second same-time delivery. And this way you, for 2 AT, will get 4 AT. But now you have two same-time deliveries on top, and you need to draw them back. But if you just pay 2 to draw them back, you go neutral. And that's where Gabby comes into play. Gabby lets us draw a card whenever we move a Griffin. So if there's 2 Gabbies in play, you draw 2 cards whenever you move a Griffin. And if you put a hat on her, which gives her Swift, you can pay 1 to draw 2 cards. Simple as that. And that's it. There's nothing else here other than the draw engine. So the rest of the deck is dedicated to either slow down the opponent or like control them, or draw as much cards as you can as fast as possible from your deck, which is pretty simple with Featherbanks and Applejack and Pinkie Pie. Featherbanks lets you discard any number of cards from your deck, from your hand, draw the same amount, so it's already a pretty good draw. But it also puts Earth Ponies into play whenever you discard a card. And Backdrop Builders, if you win the face-off with their ability, you draw amount of cards for every Earth Pony you have on the board. So sometimes in one turn you can draw like 30 cards if you try hard enough. And that's it.
That's when the opponent might realize you're playing a combo deck.
Yeah.
Yes. If you draw 30 cards in a turn, you might be playing a combo deck.
Nah, I just have really bad draws, need to find my entry. Speaking of entry, that's why Student 6 is here. It's such a good main. I really underestimated how good it'll be for this deck. Because like this deck doesn't require any particular main, right? And I thought like, okay, what main could I play? I could play Silverstream or something like that. But then I realized I can play Student 6. It fits perfectly. And since opponents usually confront problems, and as the nature of this deck, you sometimes confront problems yourself as well, they will definitely have some counters on them. And it's really good when you don't need to get like blue entry because you can just play Gabby for free counters. Or you can play Featherbanks for free counters. Like, entry is not a problem in this deck. There's some like concerns about entry, but usually it's not a problem because of Student 6. Such a good main.
Yep, that's what they're for. Yeah. So Utopia in the comments says any deck that runs Mist Main is a combo deck. Change his mind.
Yeah, I know. That's why I usually like, right? Discarding Mist Main is usually good because she's useful in discard pile. Like, you can just discard her, but the amount of information you give your opponent when you discard a Mist Main is too much, so I usually prefer to keep her as long as possible. Because I'd rather my opponent to not think that I'm playing combo deck until like as long as I can. Because once they know, they try to speed things up, and I don't like that.
So my deck in
Yeah, they play differently. Yeah, for sure.
my deck in the tournament used Mist Main purely for recursion. Purely to get.
So are you trying to say it wasn't a combo deck?
Yes. Just so that I could retire my Bunyips to home limit and then get them back later. But anyway.
You could use Whammy.
Sorry?
You could use Whammy, is like whenever you would retire a thing to.
Yeah. Whammy's great too.
King Luna says that whenever Hifrock is playing, it's probably a combo deck. Which is a fair point. I really like playing them.
Or Tempest.
Or Tempest. It's one of those two. Or well, rather purple, not Tempest.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let us get to the actual. Well, okay. This was technically actual results. Hifrock was 2-2, 7th place.
Yeah.
But shall we go to the top or from the top to the bottom?
Let's go from the bottom to top.
Alrighty. That means Bugle's next.
We can gradually get to more and more yellow. Also, this deck isn't banned.
Yes, it is.
Why?
Day shift?
Oh no, I mean the combo
Oh,
deck.
your deck.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Hithrock's deck is
Yeah.
totally fine in next generation of core.
Hooray!
But yeah, well, Bugle, it's your deck, so well,
So
go ahead.
this was my attempt to build a treehouse deck. You will notice there are no treehouses left in the deck. It turns out that if your main is yellow, it is really hard to get 4 pink.
Even with Holiday Spirit.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes you just don't have more pink friends than the opponent, or whatever. You'll also notice almost every pink card is a Pinkie Pie.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
That helps with the
But yeah,
transform quite a lot, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, it does. The only other ones are Silverstream and Belly Flop. But the goal of this deck was basically just to make Josh's Zoom deck with Belly Flop. This wound up being way harder than I thought it would be, and it's not as good as just playing mono yellow. So I was a bit sad about that. And I knew that going into the tournament, but I'm like, I just want to play yellow pink, so I'm going to play yellow pink.
Yeah.
There'll be a bit of
Well,
a repeating theme as we go through these results, especially the top half of the field.
do you like gifts more than tea with Discord?
Absolutely. It costs 1 for one thing.
Yeah.
Um, for another thing, I can turn Grogar face up to get rid of my opponent's Grogar.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, the proactive use of geese is pretty great too.
But like you can just get rid of Grogar with tea with Discord.
Yeah, well, that's true, but I have to pay 3 for that,
Yeah, that's
and I
fair.
can't do that at immediate speed.
Yeah, that's fair. And I guess also not that many people are playing Control nowadays, so
Yeah,
not very often you need to get rid of troublemakers with multiple problems.
yeah, it was a thing I thought about. I think I actually took them out for the friends are always there because that lets you just steal your opponent's Grogar and then put your own troublemaker into play, and then you're like, haha.
Yeah. Still goes into banish though. I think
Yeah.
that was a question that Cursed had like when we played our match.
Yeah, I was considering taking control of his Grogar and banishing it, which is not good.
Sort of. I mean, if they have another troublemaker, I would agree, but if it gives you troublemaker control, it's pretty swingy.
Mm-hmm. Well, so like, what was the card? It was Turning Point, I think. And in which case, it's just straight up better to just dismiss the
Oh,
Grogar.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it's Zoom, and we can talk about Zoom once we get there. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next up would be the 5th place deck of the tournament, which was Grandpa's, playing Student 6 Reanimator with lots of Tricorns and Old Money, which is why this deck got banned.
Yeah. This is the only card in the top half of the field, or the only deck in the top half of the field not to be running Day Shift.
It's true, yes.
So is this just Reanimator? Nothing. Is there anything else going on here?
Mm.
Golden Parachutes to protect the big things. There's Grogar to find Pony of Shadows to find a big friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chrysalis can get a big thing back without actually getting it back.
EEA is a nice touch, given that this deck doesn't have all that much immediate stuff in it.
Just high alert.
Yeah.
Grandpa's did tell me that against Utopia, he had 2 high alerts in his hand, and Utopia played a blind.
Ouch.
Oh,
Not the best spot to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this deck doesn't run that much resource removal either. It's only 2 disappearance, I see.
Well,
I
and
think that's
Meadowbrook.
it.
And 3 old monies.
Oh wait, yeah, Middlebrook, Mr.
Always
Yeah,
the bane
so
of
there-
your existence, Hisrock?
Yeah, I hate her so much, so much that she is a blind spot for me.
The only mono yellow card in the deck.
It's true.
But yeah, old money as well, as Bugle points out.
Yeah,
Resource removal.
she's a banned card again. We'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I guess for those who aren't familiar, this is also a Student 6 deck, because that's also a way to cheat Big Friends into play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and while like 5 counters, which is 5 controls on Student 6 sounds like a lot, it's really not. I was usually getting like up to 10 counters per game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a
That's
really
about how
good
many-
value. Yeah,
Yeah,
10
it's-
counters is pretty much 10 AT. That's a lot of value.
yeah, in a deck that's going to play out a troublemaker early or have one sitting around, if your opponent doesn't draw their dilemmas, and given that the meta was mostly aggro, single confronts are going to happen. Especially with Nurturing Nature, who can single confront without provoking the face-off back. And then you get counters.
Yep.
Okay. Deck number 4.
To the yellow field.
Yeah, top 4 of this tournament was all yellow. Different styles, different mains. 2 Growing Confidences, 2 Nurturing Natures. 4th place was Jacob S. with Growing Confidence pink. And ignore those embers. They are just there to take up space, I believe. There was a
He
conversation
said he
about
had
this.
only 3 sideboard cards, so he put 2 embers in because there was no reason not to.
If it was me, I would put Trixies.
I mean, yeah. It's an interesting
Yeah,
question.
this
Does
is-
this mean that Ember now has been in a top 4 deck or not?
Yeah.
Guess she was, yeah. Anyway, someone was going to say something before I
She's
interrupted.
not getting a surprise entry, though. I'm not writing surprise on Ember just because of that.
That's fair, yeah.
So this is a pink-yellow deck as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in a lot of ways similar. Doesn't run as many Pinkie Pies though.
Well, the entry is the same.
Yeah. The
But yeah,
pink
this
entry
one
is
is-
really good.
This one's more about using dilemmas, including Silverstream, who makes dilemmas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very
Actually,
close.
that's... Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say this is pretty close. I think about as close as we've ever seen in core to the Harmony Growing Confidence list, the combo list.
Well, I mean, the other growing confidence list is closer, I would say.
Oh, fair enough.
But yeah,
The Silverstream actually
this
caught me off guard because usually when you see Growing Confidence, you name resources on your mimics, right? But Silverstream is not a resource. She's a
Yeah.
friend. So annoying. Still
And you
costs
can
4 though.
transform her for 2.
Yep,
and then
that's
get
what he
one
did
back.
against me. So it's pretty neat combination.
Yeah.
For this main.
Yeah, I really like this deck.
All right. Number 3. The deck. Sorry, I was just gonna.
No, I'm not saying it.
Oh yeah. The deck that Bugle was inspired by, the well-known Legion of Zoom from. He goes by many names. Eminently Sensible on Reddit. Washington on Discord. Josh Stewart.
Just use his proper title, North America Continental Champion.
That works just fine too. Yes, reigning North American Continental Champion.
Yeah. And this deck is no longer undefeated.
That is true. I'd have to look through the. Oh, do you know who beat it?
Yeah, Smithers.
Okay.
Our first place.
Who we will, that makes sense. Who we will get to shortly. Well, congratulations to him. This is. I don't believe this list has changed from the last time we saw it.
Well, I mean, it has a sideboard.
Right. Yeah.
And he took out the Ferns. Whatever her name is. The Kieran.
Oh yes. Yeah, the Kieran used to be in there. That's right.
I think Fern Flare.
Fern Flare, yeah. But in general, yeah, this is. He calls this deck mid-range, right? I think he does, right?
Yes.
Which looks pretty fast to me.
Well, I mean, that's why it's Zoom.
Yeah.
But mid-range can sometimes just aggro out, but like, I'm not going to call a deck with 8 troublemakers
Yeah.
aggro.
That's also very fair.
I mean, Grogers can be in aggro, but not Mimics.
But yeah, if you want to know how good this deck is, I had 3 day shifts out against him, and he still beat me.
How many day shifts did he have?
Just one.
No.
But he got 2 bunyips, and I didn't.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, bunyips are pretty good.
Almost like cards that score points are good, generally.
Yeah. Point acceleration, yo.
Yeah, yellow needs more of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, he could be running Crown of the Sibling Supreme to go with that staff.
Yeah, or challenge his own Grogers. Works too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, if he wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's Raptor Razor.
Yeah. She's good at that.
Mm-hmm. He is running Nurturing Nature, though. Nurturing Nature tends to make you, well, you're either taking lopsided, like, your ability to take single phase off and stuff is a little bit limited. Your main being at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you run into, like, a blue deck that's running Daybreaker or something as well, then it's even harder.
Yeah. And he's also running Pinkie Pie.
Yeah, it's technically yellow-pink deck.
Yeah. Because that's totally not run because it's colorless or anything.
Absolutely not.
Not this again. But yeah,
Pinkie Pie,
I
the
vote
colorless
there.
card, changed my mind.
You too.
Just the memes. But I mean, it's important that it has 0 rec because you can find it with
Hope Hollow.
Mystery at Hope Hollow.
Yeah.
So, one thing I've noticed that both your deck, Bugle, and this deck are running only one yellow problem, which is distracting the lead actress, and the rest of the problems are colorless. Why is that? Like, for you, maybe it makes sense because you were playing 2 colors, right? But this is a monocolor deck. Why just not run other yellow problems? Are they not good enough?
Because they have too much rec. You want the highest you want is a 4, and the only reason Hope Hollow is used in either of these decks, despite being a 5, is because the searchability is just that insanely good.
That's fair.
Because at 4, any card in your deck plus Fluttershy confronts.
Yeah, and you need 4, yeah, because of the main. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And there are no other yellow problems that are that small. Currently, we'll see about set 12.
We'll see. Okay, moving on. Second place was Ivory Starlight, who also is running just the Singleton Pinkie Pie for pink. But he also... Oh, wait, no, sorry. He's got Golden Delicious as well.
And in your head like a catchy song.
Yeah.
But it is his only mono pink friend, yes.
Okay. Yeah, and I see what you mean. This looks an awful lot like the Harmony version.
Yeah.
Complete with the EA Council as well.
Yeah, I mean, this deck is technically built around Pegasus Royal Guard, but Critter Choir and Goldie Delicious are also just huge finishers.
We've got, I assume, 9 dilemmas?
8 dilemmas. No. Yes, 9 dilemmas.
Yeah.
Including a 2-cost dilemma. Fancy.
Well, in core, you got to make do with what you got.
It does get back you day shifts, though.
It gets back Day Shift or Pegasus Royal Guard.
Yeah.
Or Pinky, I guess.
I mean, sometimes some extra removal is really good.
Yeah.
In the late game, that's totally worth it. That's... Oh, you know, I actually didn't realize that adoption options for critter... Oh, wait, no, that's migration. That's not adoption options.
Yeah.
Zoom was running adoption options.
Yes. I'm looking at a small version of this, so
Yeah. But this deck does run Cockatrice Migration.
Yes, which is great with Pegasus Royal Guard.
Yeah.
Also, only one yellow problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in this case, it's because you're going to be... Actually, hang on a second. Without Industrial Revolution, how does the combo work?
I mean, you just...
Critter Choir or...
Critter Choir, yeah.
Goldie Delicious.
Yeah,
or a lot of Royal Guards.
Tons and tons of Pegasus.
Yeah. But the principle is still there. You're probably going to have one friend at your problem that's going to have to confront it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, well, we'll talk about... Yeah, I guess we'll talk about the impact of the bans on stuff like this later, but probably one of the decks that's going to be hit relatively hard by the day shift ban.
I would say this one is hit the hardest. I don't...
Yeah.
Like, it can still function because the Pegasus Royal Guard is still huge, but it's still a lot of value you're losing.
Yeah. I agree that this is the deck probably. The one that got hit hardest.
Okay, and finally, just to round us out, the deck that Bugle mentioned earlier, the one that was able to knock the reigning North American Continental Champion off of his unbeaten throne. It's yellow-blue. Haven't seen that in a while. But it used to be a
True
big...
shine.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out that this deck is running a total of 5 Cloud Chasers and Flitter. Not that I have any interest in those cards.
But you are implying that it'll be better with 6 of them.
Sure.
It would have more bows, so...
Yeah, it would have more bows.
Yeah, I don't think I can really comment here much. It's just yellow-blue and goes fast.
Mhm.
And it's a pretty, regular yellow-blue deck. There's nothing, outstanding in it in a way that is just yellow-blue cards together.
It's actually kind of Hot Wingsy, not in the blueness strategy or whatever, but there's actually a surprising amount of disruption in this deck. There's the 3 rainbow dashes, the 3 safety lectures, the 2 Sophocles attacks, and the 3 unsatisfactory works. And that's actually quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Plus the staff, and I guess the calming, if you really want to call it the calming disruption.
Well, sometimes it takes you by surprise, so I think that counts.
Fair, yeah. Yeah, pretty much the only way it could be more is if you manage to find Pirate Dash in here somewhere.
Well, could also run Stop Fighting.
True, yeah. I guess so. But,
or Yona. There's no Yona in here, actually.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. His friends are all super, super cheap, right?
Yeah.
Except for Meadowbrook, yeah.
Except for Meadowbrook, yeah.
Well, I think no Yonas for this meta was better because Yona takes out 3 or more power friends, and all the yellow decks usually don't have those. And you don't want to bounce Meadowbrook.
Yeah, that's probably a good call.
Well, if he was expecting more yellow-blue, Cloud Chaser and Flitter bump things up to 3 all the time.
True. But there was no more yellow-blue, was there?
Yeah.
Maybe it was the perfect meta call.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think in that case, Yona is a pretty good sideboard card.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I take her out against yellow decks myself.
If you're expecting to be playing against purple, then she's great, but yeah, against yellow, she's...
And sadly, I didn't see any of mine against either of the purple players I played.
I think I've played only against one purple player, and the rest was just yellow, yellow, yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint you there, Hithrock.
Well, one of the purple players dropped out after round 1.
That's right, yeah. Okay. Well, that was the tournament. Was relatively, as you saw there, a lot of yellow, a couple of little spots, but the main way to sum it up, I think, would be to say that given what happened on Wednesday of this week, I believe only 2 of the decks in the tournament would still be legal afterwards.
Total?
Total, I think more.
Hithrock's deck.
Schloradorp ran purple-blue. I don't think anything banned from that.
Yeah. Oh.
So that's the second one. Then there's Utopia with orange-pink.
Okay, 4 then. Or wait, no, 3?
Yeah, just 3.
Just 3, yes.
But that's more than 2.
True, more than 2. I was wrong.
Yeah, this ban wave shakes things up for both Harmony and Core.
So are you even going to bother with TIA results? Like,
yeah. The top 5 decks in both metas all got banned. I'm gonna have to publish something. We'll see what's left, but it'll be something. Yes. On to the next subject, the sort of blast from left field that caught us all in the middle of the week. I suppose it's unfair to say that this was completely unexpected. Many of these cards had been thrown around in conversations up to now. In fact, when we had our last stream talking about potential bans, I don't remember when that was, but a couple of months ago, I think we touched on all of these cards.
yes.
Yeah. But fair to say that we weren't expecting them all to get banned at once. That was a little different.
What you're saying, we should talk more about banned cards on stream. Potentially
there were
banned card.
a couple other cards we talked about that didn't get banned, but well, you guys talked about. I was talking in channel.
Mm-hmm.
Like Grogar didn't get touched, or
Yeah.
Which it's still a little early after the set, I think, to ban new cards, unless they're like totally, like Dragon Express level.
I will say Grogar is not Dragon Express level. I will give him that much.
Yeah.
I don't think he's also plan hard. That was terrible.
Oh, I love that combo. Why did people hate that? I don't understand.
That's
But speaking of plan hard,
yeah, nice segue into the first card. Main 6 banned once a long time ago, reinstated for the new core.
Banned again.
Yeah. Too much hugging.
That's what happens when you try to hug 5 ponies at once. Especially during
Pinky
this time.
is succeeding. Thank you very much.
Very true.
She's succeeding, but remember, 1.5 meters.
Good point. Very good point.
Well, this was taken before then.
Yeah, true.
But I
That's
guess
why
you
it's
are
banned
right.
now.
That's why it's banned now.
Setting a bad example, yes.
But this card is maybe a little bit surprising because this card was not in the previous core tournament at all.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. I tend to expect it in Student 6 decks generally, but not there.
Maybe I should have included it.
Yeah, but both Student 6 decks weren't running this one. But Student 6 is a reason this card did get banned. Because you could just exhaust Student 6 and play main 6 and then use whatever rest of your AT you have to retire your opponent's board.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
It's still not plan hard levels strong.
No.
But it's still
you
not
aren't getting rid of their hand, yeah.
Yeah. But it's still really frustrating to play against it.
It doesn't automatically win you the game, but it does automatically make your opponent feel bad.
Yeah. I don't think this card created fun situations ever.
Yeah. And there was actually a deck using this card. Grandpa's had a deck using this card that did not use no, I think it did use Student 6, but that wasn't the primary way of getting them into
Starlight.
The primary way.
That's right.
Yes, the Redeem Starlight.
Yeah. I think that one used there's a spell for that. I'm not sure. But I know which deck you're talking about, yeah.
No, the only purple card was Starlight. So it was a pink yellow deck. But it had a
Then
lot
it
of
might be
ways to
Season 6.
get Starlight into play.
Yeah, there was Pony of Shadows and Pinky Sands. There was some
Fluttershy and
recursion.
Pinky Sense,
Fluttershy, Pinky Sands, yeah.
Chrysalis and Pinky Sense.
Way too many ways.
Yeah, and that kind of was the way of it. That when you see any card that says play for free, you just immediately assume it's going to be a main 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, not put into play. Play.
Right, yeah.
So.
And Pink Yellow had Goldie Delicious, which just turned all of their friends into friends for you, sometimes 2 friends for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was using Shoeshine because that was fun.
Works just as well, yeah.
And I think the only other way is Cornered, but I don't
Yeah.
know of any decks using that one.
I think someone tried at some point, but didn't really take off.
Early on in the expansion, yeah. It doesn't have quite the same ring, same value to it as like Shoeshine and Goldie Delicious. We're not only removing your board, we're also very likely PFOing and scoring a bunch of points with it too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, like getting rid of their board and enhancing your board, yeah. Like Shoeshine especially was nasty because you don't have to worry about home limit for all those critters. They're just all on Shoeshine.
That does put a big, heavy target on her.
Yeah, but the opponent has no cards. You're fine.
Pretty much, yeah.
Either way, I'm happy to see this card gone again.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't as strong, but it was just as unfun.
Yeah, it's a cautionary tale because honestly, I think it was just kind of a poorly designed card from the start.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I just want to have a group hug in my deck. Now I have to go back to Twilight Sparkle, Friendship is Magic, and never flip her.
Well, if there isn't any consolation, we have seen like when it comes to banned cards, there have been in-joke reprints before, like with Rainbow Shine. So possible you might get.
I don't know how you reprint this though.
I know. What if it only took one friend and it was costing 1?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Great. That's gonna be set 12 now.
Okay.
Either way, onto the next card.
Can we not?
We can skip it.
No.
But you can't deny the reality curse.
I can't dwell on that past anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, we talked about this, and I was firmly against it when we talked about it a couple months ago. But having read the reasoning given, I don't disagree with the choice. I mean, if the like if you go to Royal Archive and look at all the yellow cards and say, okay, we want to ban something to pare yellow down a little bit, but don't want to ban a main if you can, don't want to ban an ultra rare if you can. What are you gonna do? This card is probably the only real option that you've got. Plus, it's in basically everything, and it's super good. So.
In the current meta, she's the best AT gen in core.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She generates you 4 AT every DFO.
Sounds good.
Yep. 2 AT whenever you play a dilemma. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still not convinced that banning this card will change too much for yellow. Like, for sure, yeah, yellow will get weaker, right? But I still think overall yellow will be the strongest color. That's my belief.
I don't know
Well,
about.
there's a difference between strongest and dominating.
Yeah.
And the hope is that they're shifting it from the one to the other, but we'll have to see. Like, there's definitely no proof that this is enough.
Yeah, okay, so I'm still convinced it will be dominating.
Yeah.
I'll rephrase that then.
Hmm.
I don't
Especially
think...
since
Yeah, go ahead.
you can just there is a just very obvious card to replace her with. And the Canterlot Citizens. Because it's
Yeah, for those unfamiliar, two cost, 2 power, it sits at home, doesn't count the home limit, is a mini nurturing nature essentially.
Mhm.
right. So it has the same stats, so you're not affecting the color requirements of your deck at all. Whether it's yellow main or yellow secondary, it helps you confront problems without spending AT, like Day Shift, and it helps you have a larger than normal home limit, like Day Shift. So
Yeah.
very similar.
Mhm.
In fact, there were rumors when Sequestria came out that Celestia was supposed to be the super rare and Canterlot Citizens was supposed to be the rare, and then they got swapped somehow. Maybe
Well-
to make it so that Celestia was more accessible.
Well, I do think that Controlled Citizens have like a more interesting ability, because this one is pretty simple. It'd be pretty boring, super rare. Because the rarity doesn't dictate the power, right? It dictates the like
Eccentricity.
uniqueness of a
Yeah.
card. Yeah.
I mean, kind of, it does both, but like it's not necessarily one or the other. You're right.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will note that Canterlot Citizens is just also on a common, just as a main or an uncommon. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's a main.
Yeah, mains get different standards, I suppose.
But yeah, I kind of agree with you guys that yellow is obviously going to still be strong. I hope that maybe not quite so strong. There needs to be room for blue and pink and orange in this meta too.
I like how you skip the
primaries.
purple.
Well,
Yeah, no purple or white, huh?
well, okay. Like nothing's gonna help white as a a primary color. At least that's coming out of this. Sure, there should be room for purple too. Obviously.
Yeah, but purple has plenty of room. It's a pretty good color.
See, here I was thinking you were sliding purple white intentionally as a segue.
It's possible that Old Money is the next card on our list.
Yeah.
I guess we've said everything that needs to be said about Celestia. Well, no. You can never say everything that needs to be said about Celestia, but Old Money, sure.
Of course.
I would just like to say one last thing. Everyone needs to go to Discord and check out Cursed's current.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I had to look up which year she was in 2017, but I figured someone had to make a memorial.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes sense that someone being you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would do the same if it was like highest level unicorn that got banned or something.
Yes.
Well, he did make a memorial for a card.
Did make several.
For a cover cut.
I made one for cover to cover, and I made a really short video for Sunset Shimmer when it got errated, like the Sunset Shimmer who puts herself and someone else on top of the deck.
Right.
It used to be not a cost, so with bats you get like a school shutdown effect, and that got errated. Very sad.
Right, I remember that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
And I made a short video about
quite ready for the meme videos yet.
Small steps, you'll get there.
Anyway, old money. Similar as with main 6 before. Banned once, brought back on a probationary term, and banned again.
Now I have to find new removal for my deck. It was so
you
easy.
don't.
Oh, I need some removal. There we go, old money.
You could just use the new event.
Yeah, I don't like it that much. Doesn't
neither
give me
do I.
Meticulous too.
Grandpa swears by it, but I think it costs too much for 3.
I mean, it's sometimes pretty good, but yeah, for free, like taking control of a thing is sometimes useful, but sometimes it's really not. And then you just put it on top of the deck.
You're talking
yeah, Hypnotized by Fear.
Sorry. Hypnotized by Fear,
Hip-
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also purple blue. It also has free rec, I think.
Yes. Purple white. Free rec. Let me add a question. Let me just throw it in chat here.
Yeah. It also doesn't have Meticulous 2, and it doesn't deal with troublemakers or resources.
Yeah.
It doesn't help you confront problems. You can't portal it. I mean, Luna's Future it.
And it's an event, not a friend.
Yeah. Well, being an event means you can get it discounted by Trixie.
Mm-hmm. Also means you can get it taxed by mimics.
Yeah.
And everyone's playing aggro. Who's playing mimics? Certainly there are no yellow decks playing
You
mimics.
ran mimics in your deck, so
I don't know what you're talking about.
so yeah. Just like main 6, I think Old Money wasn't like as strong as her prime time, but she was still pretty good value, even for 480.
Mhm.
And the only way to portal her was really to use Luna's Futures, which is good, but not as good as Portal, but it's still good.
You
And
could also like no, there was another way to portal her, but only Reanimator could do it. You retire her to home limit when you have a Twicorn in play.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Twilight Tricorn.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, Twicorn.
oh, Twicorn. Gotcha. Yeah, but
But only Reanimator could do that.
well, you could play Twilight in other decks.
Well, yeah. Any deck with Twilight in it. And this card.
Yeah, but at that point, that's
At the moment, yeah.
if
That's...
you're running both of those, you're probably running Reanimator.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sad to see her gone because that's less removal from my deck, and it needs it.
This actually, yeah, losing this really hurts purple white because purple actually has like no good removal right now.
Yeah. I think we only have like soft removal like Betrayal.
Yeah, purple
and
has no hard removal left, yeah.
Yeah. And as I like Detention for having Trixie on it, it's not the same as Napcakes. It's
No,
like
it's not
starting a
immediate.
face off after playing this event is really hard. Like you either have to have a stick, which is requires you to have a stick, that's a hard bet, or start a face off like on a problem, which you don't really want to do as a control deck.
Yeah.
So
And, yeah.
So like, and we're only left with Hypnotized by Fear, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
White has
Petit Sneeze,
it's
right?
gonna work. No, it has. It's gonna work at least. And
Mhm.
yeah, sure. Petite Sneeze. Petite Sneeze cost less than old money. Sort
Yeah,
Very
I'd rather
sort of.
run
Kind of.
Hypnotized by Fear.
Depends on how you value a card.
And 4 white rec. But yeah, like your removal options in purple white are kind of low, and I actually think you can't just play purple white. You have to play purple white blue or purple
Pink.
white pink
Mhm.
or yellow. Why wouldn't you play yellow? Everyone's
Yeah,
playing
yellow
yellow.
has a bunch of removal, right? It has unsatisfactory work. It has Ionas. Ugh.
Oh, Joking Luna does point out white has petrified. That's a very good call.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, but so the problem with petrified is it's a resource.
And
Guess what?
Meadowbrook.
Guess what? All the yellow decks are running. Like, I'm really iffy on putting any resources into my deck because they're less safe than friends nowadays. When BRB was dominating, all of your friends are unsafe and like resources are kind of fine. But now it's the other way around. Now I find friends to be more reliable than resources.
Yeah, it's fair to say. Also, worth
Yeah.
pointing out that this kind of solidifies that purple is really short on Meticulous these days.
Yeah.
No cover to cover, no old money.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, good point.
I guess you have to rename yourself to No Meticulous Talks. I guess
Yeah.
there's the dilemma. Oh, and there's Sunset.
Yes.
Yeah, Sunset, there's Luna. Like, there's some meticulous cards out there.
Hmm.
But I think, like, the best one right now is probably Sunset in monocolor, that is.
Sunset in the dilemma, and only if you can actually protect the dilemma.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you also have, like, the mono-purple Luna, but she's kind of
Yeah, she's
she has
She's
meticulous
worse
too.
than Sunset in every way.
Yes. Another thing, if you're in yellow, you have the Twilight and Fluttershy. They have meticulous too as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
More reason to play yellow.
Yeah, there's Transform Twilight. So there is some meticulous, but
right,
the
but much
good one is Sunset, and that's it.
yeah, much more questionable inclusions than Old Money was.
I mean, I guess there's also he's not technically meticulous, but there is
Star Swirl? Yeah. Yeah, Star Swirl is actually quite alright now that the removal is not as much. But I guess there's Yona.
Yeah, but there's Yona and there's unsatisfied. Like
Ugh.
my last opponent played a Star Swirl, and like I kept frightening it and then bouncing it, and he literally got 0 cards off of him.
Ouch, that
That-
sounds terrible.
That
Yeah.
hurts my soul.
Yes, like, you told the story and I wasn't even part of it, but it hurts me.
Yeah, they should have made Old Money 3 power so you could put him back in hand with Yona.
Mm.
I would love that.
Yeah.
When giving a card more power would actually be a nerf.
No, the joke is that by putting it back in hand,
Oh,
they just replay it.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Grandpa's. Hi, by the way. See you there in chat. What was the thing that we didn't want Grandpa's to hear earlier in the stream?
Shh. It was about Kyle.
It's true. That's true.
He'll have to rewind to not hear
Yeah,
it.
he'll have to watch the recording.
Mhm.
So, just like as we guessed about main 6 reprinting, how would you reprint Old Money?
No Meticulous for one thing,
Yeah.
and make it when you play.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, that might be enough, honestly.
Yeah, and like for 4 actions. Yeah, she'll still be a friend 2 for 2. But I really love Meticulous 2 in her. After the
Well,
portal.
yeah, that's what pushed her over the top, really.
Yeah, I really love the fact that Day Shift lets me move everything to problems.
I loved Group Hug wiping my opponent's board. I wonder why these cards are banned.
Yeah, you like it, that's why it's getting nerfed.
Speaking of cards that I like that are getting nerfed.
Good point. Let's talk about Harmony.
Yeah.
It's been a
This
long
is the
run.
first time I see this main.
Oh.
Yeah, no one uses this card. Why was it banned?
It's one of those old bad cards, right? Like nobody plays.
Yeah, who uses cards from Premier Block?
Ugh.
No, we kid. This card has been everywhere since the moment she was printed until June 12th, I suppose.
Yes.
Until now.
Well, she wasn't everywhere when we went into core.
Yeah.
She was just still present in Harmony.
Actually, good point from the chat. She is technically not a Premier Block card.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway.
Premier Block era card, I guess.
Yeah. So, judging from the start side, it's not a very powerful card. I wish to see what's on the other side.
Oh, I don't have the other side on the slide. As if it's not the side that everyone sees all the time.
Yeah. And you also always see it turned sideways.
Yeah, for some reason.
But yeah, DJ had been the only pink main in Harmony for a long, long time. And it'd become quite clear that in order for any other pink main to see play, you're going to have to print a better card, and that is a scary proposition.
Yeah, don't do that. Like, as much as I love playing vinyl, and I love playing vinyl, like, don't make something better than she is the best main of all time. Despite being banned after Applejack, I still think this is true.
Yeah, like when I was building my combo decks, I had some combos that are not pink, right? But I still was going with pink because of two things. First is Pinky Sands, and the second one is this main. Because why would I not? It's much easier to enter my colors for combo and run this main than not.
Yeah. Like drawing 2 cards a turn, like every combo deck wants that. Like always, please.
Mm-hmm.
And non-combo decks too. Like having more options is always good.
That was one of her main things, is that she was good at everything. Because she's
except farm.
It's true.
If you have some friends, she does already, so...
But yeah, she saw play in aggro lists and control lists, perhaps most notably by you, Bugle, and combo all the time as well.
Yeah. Wait, Bugle, till I bring my vinyl farm deck to Nightmare.
And go O and X?
Yes.
So Werefrog does say Applejack was banned before vinyl because there were other orange mains that were playable, and that wasn't true for pink quite as much.
Like at the time? When was Applejack was banned during like Defenders or Sequestria or
Sequestria?
Yes, Sequestria.
It was
so there was no Silver Stream. There was Skystar and there was Lyra.
Those were playable.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's actually the other way around. Because what other orange mains do we have in core, at least? In core we had at that time Apple Bloom. We had Applejack tooled up, and I think the list ends there. Oh yeah, and Grubber, and like those options are not great.
Those are all footnotes, essentially.
Yeah. In Harmony we also have Mod and like
Orange
other
Luna.
Applejack mains, but yeah, Orange Luna. I guess those are like, but those mains you have to build like with.
Yeah.
Like Applejack.
Joking Luna points out we have we
Muffin
had Muffin Mare.
Oh yeah,
as well. Yeah, it was actually not awful.
Yeah, Derpy is pretty good, but it's also a card you have to build around, like your other play a certain deck with it or you don't.
But yeah, Vinyl, you just shove her in anything, and you're just like, yep, my deck's better now.
Yeah. But we do have other playable pink mains, even during Sequestria time. Like Sky Star is still seeing play. I think the Equestrian Odyssey's Pinkie Pie is not that bad. Leo will agree with me.
She's hard to flip, but her ability is pretty good.
Yeah. And as far as Premier Block mains go, I can't really think of a pink main that really saw play ever.
None.
Oh, really? Oh, well.
I mean, Pokepony is the closest, and that really only saw play in casual formats.
Yeah.
Fair.
And I guess some people try to use Discord just because it's like, I can start with 3 power. And then the opponent would go, turn 1, troublemaker, troublemaker, turn your main over, and you'd be sad.
Still good with trading traditions, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for that Snips and Snails opening.
Yeah, get rid of your opponent's trading traditions.
And of course, these days we have Silverstream, who is a pretty okay replacement generally.
Yeah, my goal with her was a fair Vinyl, and I think I hit that pretty okay. I mean, I guess some people would agree, some people play her.
Yeah. I think it makes sense to talk about Vinyl as well as the next ban, like together.
Fair.
Because I have been pointed, like some people pointed out, oh, Nightmare Moon ban, combo decks will now go like rampaging because she was a good combo disruption tool. But the thing about combo decks is that they lose Vinyl, so it kind of evens out, I think.
So they don't have a huge hand to discard.
Yeah.
Yes. Nightmare Moon had been around from the start. Obviously, she was in Premier Block, or the Premier set. A somewhat situationally useful card for a long time. It was never really out of the meta, so far as I'm aware. But
there's a few times. Well, I get no. She was always in the meta because she was played in every farm deck. That's fair.
That's true. Yes. It's always great in farm, thanks to that 3 bonus. In recent times, with Pinky Sense, suddenly everyone's got her. Or, we ended up in this really unfortunate tension situation where if you got your Pinky Sense, then she's suddenly not a problem for you at all. And so,
well,
it's still annoying,
but not as bad.
And it really came down to who gets Pinky Sense first.
Yeah.
Because if you get Pinky Sense and your opponent don't, you get a huge advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like that's basically very close to winning the game right there.
Yeah.
And it's also worth pointing out that it's been known since the start of the game that games where Nightmare Moon gets played are necessarily like very different from games where she's not. The game slows down a lot. And so having that happen in like every game is probably not good.
Yeah. Wait till there's 2 of them. Wait till there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Also, then you play a Poppy, and then you have to have like a guessing game on top of this die roll.
Yeah. Flurry Hearts don't help.
Yeah.
That was another thing with Vinyl too, right? If you're not playing a combo deck, you might as well run this card because you'll always have card advantage over your opponent because you're drawing 2 cards per turn and discarding. And your opponent is always discarding 1 and drawing 1. Yeah. That's a really big difference.
Yeah, I think the first online card on all 4 of the top. No, there was the Rainbow Dash deck. That's right. But 3 of the top 4 decks were Vinyl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For what it's worth, I definitely checked my numbers this time. The last OnlineCon, the sort of filter was 5 of the 12 decks would still be legal after the bans.
Oh wow. Well,
So
I guess not everyone was playing Degeneracy. I guess.
Yeah. Let me bring it up here.
So, Joking Luna points out that the reason she might have seen more play at OnlineCon because she's an ultra rare, and at OnlineCon you don't really have to own her to play her. And she was like an expensive ultra rare too, right? She was going like for $40 or something from what I've seen.
Yeah.
People selling her. But I still think like if you really want to play some deck at a competitive level, you can probably, if you try hard enough, you can get a card you need for your deck.
Yeah, I can't speak for Smithers, but I'm pretty sure Yumi and Pancake all have enough Nightmare Moons for our decks anyway.
And I think Smithers has to, but yeah.
Yeah. And you and Smithers were only running the one Nightmare Moon, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, since I have Pinky Sands, I thought I might as well run it as a sideboard card.
Yeah, I mean, you want to put cards in your discard. You want to disrupt people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Pinky Sense it's great because you choose what you're discarding. I just discard what I don't need and keep what I need. It's really, and Grogger makes it even better because I can find it whenever I need her.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, don't I know it? Yeah, that's also a really good reason that Nightmare Moon saw more play because you could summon her on demand.
Yeah. Yeah, like those two cards really pushed her over the top.
Yeah, like
the Pinky Sands and Grogger.
Like in the Fireworks deck, like if my opponent plays a Pinky Sense, I don't want to have a Nightmare Moon. But as soon as I get rid of that Pinky Sense, that Grogar is just going to go right away and find Nightmare Moon.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, you have the opportunity to say eulogy for Fireworks now if you want. Bugle.
Oh yeah, poor Fireworks combo. Didn't just get rid of the main, but got rid of the core card that makes it work.
They exploded.
Yeah. They were untested Fireworks after all.
Fair enough, yeah.
Though speaking of eulogies, everyone should go to the Reddit and see my
I saw the post, but I haven't read it yet.
Oh, that. Yes.
Yeah. I posted a song edit of the best main until the end of time.
Good. There are a few spots where the meter didn't quite line up, but
yeah, the Fluttershy line was surprisingly hard to get, but I didn't want to spend all day on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you really didn't go as far as editing an entire video for it, did you?
I didn't.
That took me so long to make, like 10 hours.
Well, for what it's worth, I did very much enjoy it.
Thank you.
So, okay. So what does Core even look like without these two? Or not Core, Harmony. What does Harmony look like without Nightmare Moon and Final? Like
Farm.
I mean, that's pretty fair, honestly.
I think he was only running the one Nightmare Moon, so it wouldn't be too hard to change that deck.
Yeah, but the thing is, in my deck, I was running pink because of Pinky Sands, and I really wanted Pinky Sands because of Nightmare Moon. Now that's less of a problem, so I might as well just not run pink. Maybe I want to run purple because it's one of the colors that the combo actually uses.
You could run Twilight and kind of have the fake Final.
Yeah. I could. Yeah, so see, that's the thing. I think Vinyl was so strong because the draw was unconditional. With Twilight, while Twilight gives you AT, which sounds that much better, right? It's harder to get it because it's conditional. You have to put cards on top of your deck. You have to
Well, she
have a
puts
friend
the
at
card
home.
on top of your deck by herself.
Yeah, but you also have to have a friend at home, and she flips much harder.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about the friend at home part. But yeah, you can't run trading traditions with her.
No.
You have to run
Ancient something.
ancient research.
Yeah, that one.
So, just looking at the top tier decks that didn't get banned, the top one is actually Hot Wings.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
the Bluna version, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And no, the vinyl one.
There was Thorax Orange.
Mm-hmm. And Monothorax.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the Tempest control decks, presumably taking out Nightmare Moon.
Don't have old money anymore, though.
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, old money wasn't legal in Harmony already.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. Right. Never mind then.
But you have Napcakes and Portal.
Yeah, you have and good problems.
Yeah. So like Tempest control still works in Harmony.
Yeah.
Just without Nightmare Moon. But like the reason it was running Nightmare Moon was because of all the combo, which is no longer as present without Vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's still Dilemma combo. There's still Teamwork combo. I made a Seleno combo deck, which looks really fun.
Well, I mean, Hithrock can answer is how does Teamwork combo still work out without this main?
No, as I said, you could probably just switch to purple main color instead of. I didn't really like pink in the deck anyway. The only again, Pinky Sands main and having Snips and Snails is nice. But other than that, I think purple might be a better color for it. Like run Tempest or the Twilight from EO, and you have stuff like Napcakes and other things.
Joking Lona says his Alicorn deck is still strong. Grandpa says Oops All Bombs still works, though it might use Chrysalis instead of Luna.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see Chaos Control back.
Yeah, Chaos Control, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see some more Chaos Control. Really like it.
You could potentially play BRB as well. Like, Portal is still around.
Yeah. I said it. I also said that pile is something. And I'll stand by it.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of looks like. Go ahead.
I made what is the card? Pyguard with vinyl, and you can just take the vinyl out and put back in Skystar. So
yeah,
there's things you can do in Harmony.
Yeah, it honestly looks like the answer to the question, what does Harmony look like, is a well-functioning meta.
We've removed Vinyls and Nightmare Moon's chokehold on the meta, basically.
I mean, so Kirsten, you just said that now. People will call you up on that later, once we have another Harmony tournament.
It's true. Fair. We'll see.
It's just all going to be mono yellow. Because you can play Day Shift in Harmony.
True.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, as we said, there's farm, there's control, there's aggro, there's options all over.
Yeah.
You say sign up for Hacker and try something new, but the bans are not still there yet.
It's true. This Heiko is going to be the worst of them all.
I'm gonna try something new. I'm going to run the exact same deck
everyone who signed up for Heiko that was talking in the feeling forums on Sunday were like, oh yeah, I'm playing this combo deck. Well, I'm playing this combo deck. Everyone was playing combo.
Yeah, I think someone made a comment like, "No wonder no one signed up for Keiko."
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I love combo decks. We need more of them.
Well, you just made a new one, so.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe I will sign up for Keiko with like Chaos Control. Sounds fun.
Could be nice.
Yeah, and you get to use Cheerilee again in your Chaos Control deck.
Yes, that's so good. Hmm.
So, just to wrap up, I guess we were talking about this already, but the verdict is perhaps a strong word, final opinion on this ban list adjustment in Harmony seems to be generally good. Thumbs up.
Yep.
In Core,
I think it makes it healthier, but we're all sad to see a specific card go.
yeah, not the same card for all of us probably, but
Well, no, yeah, each one of us has a different card.
yeah. But yeah, I think I agree. Looking through the reasoning in the in the document, I don't believe that there's anything really there to disagree with. So
Yeah.
Oh, though, actually, do we want to talk about Grogar? Like, or is just what we said earlier just he's still too new to ban? All we need to say at the moment.
I guess. I mean, he's definitely strong, but I'm not sure if he's meta breaking.
He was only in one of the top 4 decks, I suppose. That is true.
we'll see. The boat is going to be rocking a lot over the course of the next few months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Certainly, if things settle down and he's still around, then I think he's probably top of the list for anyone else who would ask what should the next card that should be banned be. Probably the one that most people think about at the moment.
Him and Yellow Mains.
Yeah.
You mean another Celestia?
There are no Celestia mains in Core. We can't ban any.
Not in Core, but plenty in
Well,
Harmony.
I mean, I would be okay with that if it means I could say Celestia doesn't have enough mains. We clearly need new ones. Anyway, I think that brings us pretty well to the end of what we wanted to say.
Panberry Frog. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new world. Like, I honestly feel like the Nightmare Moon and Vinyl bans were a long time coming. Like, they probably should have been hit sooner, but
it feels a lot like what happened with F-Stop, essentially.
Yeah. Well, I think you said with Nightmare Moon when you were last talking about the ban list that you didn't so much want to ban her as make her go away.
Yeah, I think that rings a bell.
Well, now she can be ban-ish 1,000 years to the moon.
She's still in Nightmare Moon.
Yes. It is truly the Nightmare format now, because it's the only place where you can play Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's other Nightmare Moons, so...
Yeah, although one expects that, what's the card? Deep Darkness probably sees less play in a world without Vinyl.
Yeah, like
so that's poor
basically
Double
zero.
Diamond. Oh, Devil Diamond with Tempest was such a neat trick against Vinyl. I love that.
Yeah. But like Rainbow Shine gives you enough outs nowadays.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well,
Okay.
thank you very much for joining us, Bugle.
This is something I definitely wanted to talk about. So, and there was a good opportunity, so I seized it.
Absolutely. If it ever strikes your fancy again, feel free. We're always happy to have you.
Hopefully, I give you more than 10 minutes warning next time.
True. That would
It will be
appreciated.
11-minute warning.
Yeah, I think Hithrock logged on, was like, why is Bugle here?
Yeah, I was away when you pinged us, so I just joined and see Beagle. Like, oh, we have Beagle today.
Anyway, thank you to everyone who's joined us in the chat. We had a pretty good audience today. As usual, if you want to catch part of the earlier stream that you missed or look at anything from before, check us out on YouTube. There it is. This particular stream will be up probably later this afternoon, and we have everything else going all the way back to when Defenders was getting revealed. Defenders of Equestria, that is. Otherwise, otherwise, we'll be back in a couple of weeks with what this stream was supposed to be about originally, which is details about set 12. And until then, I've been Cursicords.
I've been Hithrock. And
Hi, I'm Bugle.
hello, Bugle. What are we talking on stream today?
I think we're talking about the set 12.
Oh, yeah,
stuff?
right. Yeah, we've got a bunch of cards spoiled.
And we got a whole bunch of hints from the OnlineCon.
Yeah. Kirsten, did you prepare the slides for the stream?
We'll see you in a fortnight.
Bye.
Bye.